today is to get the transfer case out and the transmission. Gave up last night because we worked on it and gotten kind of pissed off. But I've had to remove about 80% of the exhaust. You can't really see that, but lots of it was in the way, so got it removed. So let's remove the transfer case. Finally got the transmission out. A lot of messing around with it. You can see that that rear main was really leaking good. I don't know the right name for this kind of a flywheel, but it's got springs in the back of it instead of springs on the clutch disc. We're gonna go after that guy because it is making a royal mess back here. And this is just a loop clutch, and it's upgraded because it's solid. I'm imagining the clutch disc has the damping springs in it. Slight update on the Jeep's exhaust. I didn't show any of what we did, but did a little hanger there, kind of in the place of the old one. That made the made the exhaust come out nice and straight. Well, sort of.
Planning on taking the Jeep in.
Of course, no gas cap.
Sort of.
Do a little ride along and see how the exhaust sounds.
How the U-joint feels. Is it time lapse?
No, we're just doing regular.
Okay.
Well, it's after lunch. We're gonna head out to the Big Bud. This is a neighbor farmer's tractor we're gonna potentially rebuild the motor on, so we're gonna head out and go see if we can get it fired up and move it to his shops where it's a lot easier to work on. We're gonna leave good old F250 here, come back and work on it when it's dark. Okay, we're headed out. See you, Combine. setup out here, trying to get the Big Bud going. Set on a 6500 charge with a little generator. It's gonna take some time. It's pretty bad. This is a neighbor farmer's tractor I got to work on in the summer. Put a turbo and an oil cooler on it. And prior to the turbo and the oil cooler, it was getting oil in the antifreeze, and it wasn't a whole lot. And had a ton of blow-by. It would basically belch out the 4 crankcase breather tubes, I think. Tons of oil. So what I did is I put the oil cooler and the turbo on it, because we thought, well, the motor must be okay, let's try the turbo. Put the turbo and the oil cooler on, and now we've got coolant ejecting itself out of the radiator and tons of oil in the radiator. So what we think happened is the head gasket went when a capable turbo was put on this thing, and the turbo was worn out enough that that's probably going to be the case. However, we're just going to go ahead and pull the motor and rebuild it. It's about that time. We'll climb up in the cab and give you a view of what Big Buds are like. On the left, you've got a whole slurry of gauges. Engine oil temp, trans temp, rear diff temp, front diff temp, divider, box temp, and air pressure. On this side you have an RPM gauge, exhaust temperature gauge, this is pretty sweet, water temp, volt and engine oil pressure. This thing has AC and it's pretty nice. It also has a bunch of light bars which these control. Here on this side you have your controls for your hydraulics, old school style. Eaton Fuller 8-speed transmission. Very basic, very robust. Let's see if this thing has got a little juice in it. See how much juice it's got. We're getting there, but it's going to take a little while. Got your clutch, got your brake. Well, it's about 5:30. We couldn't get the Big Bud started up, and we have a problem with coolant in the crankcase, and that's no good. So we're thinking possibly liner, still head gasket issue, but regardless, we could not get it started, or we won't start it, because starting it will in turn destroy the crankshaft. So 5:30, leaving here. We've got Blake's service truck. We're gonna use its crane to pick all the medium heavy stuff like the hood and the radiator support. Probably pull the radiator with it as well. And then we're gonna borrow another boom truck that I know of. You've probably seen it in a picture before, lifting a combine motor out. That's the one we're gonna use to pick the motor, transmission, and sled assembly. And then we'll take the engine and transmission over to either my shop or Blake's shop, pull it all down, rebuild it, put it back in, and hopefully do it before springtime, because then I'll be busy with my dad's stuff and I won't really have time for other people's projects. But this is one of the fun projects you're going to see a lot more of in the coming month. Like and subscribe for more Big Bud content.